I was on a coaching session with a founder who had just closed a 3.2 million ARR deal. Now, this is an early stage company, and this enterprise deal was really meaningful for their business. Just recently, I was also on a coaching session with a founder, early stage company again, that were working 2 enterprise deals, each worth $1 million of ARR. These are all meaningful enterprise SaaS deals that founders are working in the early stage. Here's a big question though. How do you get these enterprise deals and how do you win these enterprise deals? Because when you win them, it is completely transformational, not just for your ARR, but the additional customers you can get because of that enterprise logo. So in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know on how to win enterprise SaaS deals. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your business faster. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon, but you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. I remember winning one of the largest enterprise deals that I was part of. This was a 1.2 million ARR deal. I was at Marketo. I was serving as SVP of strategy, and I had just gotten shipped off to Europe to serve as the interim GM for that region. Marketo had bought ToutApp, and a ToutApp, an enterprise deal to us was a 100K deal, a 200K deal, or a 250K deal. Even those deals were incredible. We used to give a bottle of champagne to every AE that closed one of those deals because they were so incredible to us. But that 1.2 million ARR deal completely blew my mind of what's truly possible for enterprise sales. So in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through, having seen so many of these types of deals, having coached so many founders in the early stage for enterprise deals, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 principles that you absolutely need to know to win these enterprise SaaS deals. And if you stick to the end, I'll give you a bonus one that really increases your win rates and ensures that you don't work 12 months for a deal and then lose it all the way at the last minute because there was a competitor that really came in above you. And if you stick to the end, I'm gonna give you a bonus principle that's really gonna ensure that you don't waste months, you don't waste 12 months on a deal only to lose it at the very end. So if you're excited to dig into principle number 1, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and let's dig right into it. Principle number 1 of having a proper enterprise SaaS deal system is to first focus on the pipeline. Enterprise pipeline generation is dramatically different than what you do for traditional pipeline generation. And a lot of founders skip this part. A lot of sales leaders even skip this part. There's 2 key things that you need to be thinking about for enterprise pipeline. The first one is to take an account-based approach. Now, traditionally for SaaS companies, if you're going into the mid-market or you're in the lower mid-market or even SMBs, you're just looking for one decision maker. However, with an enterprise deal, first, enterprises have a lot of employees, which means there's gonna be a lot of people that are not decision makers, but are totally willing to get on a call with you, which is gonna be a giant waste of time for you because they have no purchasing power. So the first thing you really wanna be thinking about is how do you align your pipeline generation efforts into the right target accounts that are most likely to buy from you. And in addition to that, instead of just focusing on one title, because it's a multi-stakeholder process, enterprise deals are almost always multi-stakeholder, you wanna think about the 2 to 3 key stakeholders, including the decision makers, that you need to be marketing to in order to generate quality pipeline. And one thing that I didn't write out here that's also important to mention is because you'll have a very clear definition of who the target accounts are and what the ideal customer profile looks like and that's what the titles look like, you're also gonna be super vigilant about ignoring people that are just not stakeholders, that are just not part of your target account list. One of the biggest reasons for this is enterprise deals take some time, anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to 12 months. It varies depending on the deal sizes, what you're selling, the competitive dynamics. Because they take so long, if in the beginning you don't filter out non-buyers, non-ICP accounts, you might waste 6 months before realizing, oh my God, this person is a total tire kicker. They're never gonna buy, they have no influence in the organization. They're just a mid-level person and you'll have wasted 6 months, whereas you could have been focusing that time on getting actual quality pipeline. This is why principle number 1 is to really revamp your pipeline generation so you take an account-based approach and you think about the multiple stakeholders you need to be influencing as part of your marketing motions, so that by the time you get a deal going, by the time you start to bring together these multiple stakeholders in your target accounts, they've already heard about you through your marketing. So that's principle number one. Principle number two is once you generate the pipeline, then comes the actual sales system. If you're gonna be winning large deals, you need a proper enterprise sales system. There's some key components that go into a proper sales system. Number one, you need to clearly be able to articulate what problem you are solving. A lot of times founders are thinking about the unique technology they have or how many cool things you can do with it. And sometimes you can get away with that in the lower ends of the market. You can sell on emotion, people will try stuff out, but enterprise buyers are very savvy. And unless you're aligning with the top 3 problem that they have, they're just going to ignore you. And you need to be highlighting their problem and talking to them about the problem they're facing right up front as part of your sales system. If you just jump straight to a demo or just respond to an RFP without truly understanding what the problem is that's top of mind for them, you're going to be navigating that sales cycle completely blind with absolutely no leverage. The second thing you really need to be thinking about is how do you communicate the transformation that you're bringing that encapsulates the solution that you're actually selling. This is a lot, but the gist of it is you can't just say we are blank. You have to articulate exactly why you're 10 times better at solving this problem as part of the sales process. Part of this comes through a proper strategic narrative that you show through your sales stack as part of the sales process. Part of this is the messaging that you use in the follow-ups. Either way, you really have to position yourself as the 10x better solution to the top level problem that you're selling. And that's a big part of the sales system. The third thing that you need to be thinking about is how you're going to be building group consensus. This is one of the unique things as part of an enterprise sales process. Typically with mid-market, lower mid-market, you can get away with just getting one person to be your champion and they will do the work internally in the organization. A lot of times with SMBs, there's just really one person to convince. But in the enterprise, there's usually a group of people and you have to help them reach consensus. And that's a big part of the sales process that you have to define. And the last piece is you have to create urgency. There's a natural inclination. There's a natural inclination where deals will just take forever. It can take 12 months. It can take 2 years. And they would rather keep giving you one more thing to talk through instead of just saying no to you. So it's super important to instrument your sales process, your sales system, so that you're introducing urgency in the deal early on in the process and reiterating it through the process. So that's principle number 2. You want to make sure you have a proper sales system that incorporates the problem, the solution, and the transformation you're bringing, how you're building group consensus, and you're creating urgency around the deal. Now, before I go to the third principle and the bonus principle, let me pause here for a second. Enterprise sales and enterprise deals are incredible. I've seen companies double their ARR, triple their ARR because of one great enterprise deal. Also, the other thing that happens that's really cool is because you get this one enterprise logo, it helps you win more in the mid-market as well. Kind of like Salesforce did in the early days. In the early days, they were really more of a mid-market company and Oracle was owning the enterprise. But Salesforce in the early days won Toyota. And they would not stop talking about how they're doing such incredible things for Toyota. And you would think because they got Toyota, they would now go get Honda or any other car company. But really what happened for them, what really was meaningful was because Toyota chose them, all the mid-market companies were like, oh my God, if it's good enough for Toyota, it's definitely good enough for us. So let's go talk to these guys. And they took them more seriously. So not only can great enterprise deals increase your ARR at a much faster clip, but also it helps you win in the mid-market as well, which is incredibly powerful. If you're starting to see the power of this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. If you're also building out your go-to-market strategy to win these enterprise deals, if you're building out your pipeline generation, your sales process, and you want a step-by-step framework that you can follow, then you should check out my SaaS go-to-market program. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode. Let's go to principle number 3. Principle number 3 is you need to get great at enterprise procurement. Now, enterprise procurement is the gatekeeper. In a mid-market deal, in an early stage deal, they just swipe the credit card. Sometimes mid-market companies pretend like they're enterprise, and for a small deal, for a 20K deal, you have to do all the work of a 100K deal, and it's super annoying. But by and large, you should be optimizing your mid-market process, your sales process, where they sign on the dotted line and it goes off of form agreements and they swipe the credit card or send a wire transfer. But for the enterprise, there's no way around it. You're gonna have to go through procurement, and procurement are professional buyers. Even if you get the group to get consensus, they bring in the professional buyers to say, okay, our entire job is to negotiate this deal and get the best deal for us. That's what they're great at. You need to get great at a few things. To have a proper procurement system, you want to make sure you have your legal buttoned up, your security buttoned up, and you also want to have reference customers ready to go. These are three key components that are going to come in handy, not only to make sure that you win in the sales process, but also that you increase your win rate and collapse your deal cycles. These are all things, the sooner you can get legal involved, the sooner you can get security involved, the sooner you can bring in reference customers, the faster you'll win these deals, and the more likely you are to win these deals. So getting great at not just the sales process and not just the pipeline, but also the procurement piece is super important for you to win these large enterprise deals. Now, you stayed till this point, so I'm gonna give you the bonus one. The bonus one is to really think deeply about your pricing and proposals. There have been entire coaching calls where I've reviewed the pricing and proposals for big enterprise deals. This is how deals are really won, because in mid-market and in the lower mid-market and SMB, the price is the price and maybe you give a discount. But with enterprise, you can actually structure deals in different ways, and therefore you can stand out from the competition. You can do multi-year deals. You can do 2-year deals, 3-year deals, and provide incentives for going longer with you. You can do pilots that are paid, but bake it in where they're long-term deals. There are different ways to do this. So thinking thoughtfully about how you price and how you deliver the proposal and how you give them options on pricing can really help you get the extra edge in the enterprise SaaS sales process. All right, so let's recap the key principles on winning big deals in the enterprise SaaS sales space. Number one, you need to make sure you have a proper pipeline generation system. This means account-based marketing, targeting multiple key stakeholders, and being thoughtful about weeding out people that are just tire kickers. Number two, you need to have a proper enterprise sales system. A proper sales system can clearly articulate the problem they're facing and identify it, can talk about the transformation, can build groups consensus, and most importantly, can actually create urgency in an enterprise deal process. And the third one is to master procurement. You want to make sure you have legal, security, and also reference customers buttoned up. And that way you can multi-thread those and really increase your win rates and collapse the deal cycles. And lastly, you want to make sure that you have proper pricing and proposals, and you actually think through thoughtfully on how to structure these deals so it's a no-brainer for them. There's lots of different levers you can turn to structure these larger deals where they look at it and they say, okay, this is a no-brainer. This is clearly a better offer than the competitors. And that's how all these pieces come together. So now you know the key principles that make for winning these large enterprise deals, whether it's a $200K deal or $1 million deal or a $3 million deal. What you may not know is, TK, how do I implement all these pieces? How do I actually build out a proper pipeline generation machine that's targeting these stakeholders and educating them? How do I actually build out a sales system? How do I manage procurement? How do I structure this pricing and these proposals? This is why I created my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Inside of this program, I give you the step-by-step framework to follow to build out your proper go-to-market strategy so you can win these enterprise deals. There's 3 core pillars I guide you through inside of this program. The first one is your ideal customer profile. The more detailed your ideal customer profile is, the more effective your pipeline generation is going to be. So it's super important to get clear on what's the ICP you're going to be targeting. The second is your manifesto. Your manifesto is your messaging, it's your positioning, it's the transformation you're really bringing to the market. This translates into a way to generate leads and pipeline, but also transforms into your sales deck that you use through your sales process to create urgency. Once you have these 2 pieces, you have your core go-to-market strategy. Then comes the third pillar. The third pillar is the Broadway show. This is a consistent set of sales and marketing activities that you're running to bring your manifesto to your ICP on a consistent basis, to generate that quality pipeline, and then to convert that to real revenue through a proper sales system. It's an incredible program. I've been running it for 6 years, and we've shared so many success stories, and there's even more coming. So if you'd like to join the program, if you'd like the step-by-step framework to follow, then go to tkkader.com/GTM. tkkader.com/GTM. When you go to that page, you'll see this page right over here, and you get all the details on how the program works. If you'd like to join the program, just fill out the form and book a call with us. On the call, we'll figure out if you're the right fit, and if you are, we're off to the races right away. So just go to tkkader.com/GTM. Now, if you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon where you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. Also, if you have a fellow founder, if you have a team member, if you're part of a Slack group or a WhatsApp group or a Twitter group, whatever it is, a Reddit group of other founders that are navigating enterprise sales, please share this video with them. We want to serve as many founders as possible. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside the SaaS Go-to-Market Coaching Program. Take care, everybody.